Barry came to the Federation since he's celebrating his 20th birthday here, I assume 20 years ago.
We had several candidates who were just really top-notch. Came down to two. Barry's wife was the deciding factor.
He was this bright, young, enthusiastic individual.
I am one of 5 people still on staff that preceded Barry's arrival, and yes, I was 12 when he started.
I could read Barry. I mean, even when I didn't know him very well, I mean, I could see when something really got to him. I mean, I could see his face change color.
He pulls on his face like this, and he kind of goes like this, and he just holds it there for a really long time, and you can tell the wheels are turning.
I found Barry very easy to work with. He always came across as knowing exactly what he was doing and where he wanted to go to.
I remember early on that Barry would say, without a map, any road will get you there. And one of the most important things that Barry brought to our Federation was direction.
He really had the individual or the agency at heart, and more importantly, the community as a whole.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
There was a time prior to Barry when the Jewish community was not very much together. It was fractured. Barry changed all that.
My grandfather really believed that one person could not accomplish much on their own. If you wanted to accomplish anything, you really needed to empower other people to reach their full potential. I think the Millstone Institute is a great example of how Barry brings the broader needs of the community together and connects them with things that are important to individuals in the community.
Barry serves on the Lubin Green Foundation. That foundation has probably contributed around $7 million to local and international Jewish charities, many of which are programs that Barry started and Barry followed through on them and put them into fruition.
He always believed that we needed the infrastructure of the agencies to be able to deliver the services both on a daily basis, if you will, and in case of any emergency. And that's an emergency that's a St. Louis emergency, it's an emergency in Israel.
When Barry first came on board in St. Louis, there was an international program where the various communities, not only in the United States but around the world, would partner with communities in Israel. And we picked a very small city in about 50 miles south of Haifa called Yokneam.
Yokneam Megiddo actually has now named a square in honor of both the St. Louis and Atlanta Jewish Federations that have partnered to, over some years, to really try and strengthen that area of Israel.
Barry didn't approach it that we were the benevolent American Jewish community giving to the poor, needy Israelis, but that this was a partnership. And I think we, Barry, me, and myself, and the community have gotten even more out of it.
So I think that 20 years has made him one of the leaders in the Jewish community, not only locally, not only nationally, but internationally.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Toda rabah, Barry.
Barry, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you so much, Barry.
One of the things that we all joke about, but it's really true, is Barry taught us as a staff about process and being process-oriented and learning to trust the process.
If he has a failing, it's his sense of process. The man needs to ease up.
That's why I have gray hair. Barry definitely believed in process. I think it was a reflection of his belief that if anything was going to be successful long term, it had to have buy-in, and it had to be connected and touched the entire community.
Being president of Federation and being the professional in some ways is like a marriage. It's a commitment not to walk away, but to kind of work it out. I think it taught me a lot about being able to disagree, but not feeling any differently about the person.
He thinks a lot, but at the same time, there's a sense of humor. He cooks, likes to drink some good wine, loves to travel. Well, this is something people may not even know about Barry. He likes to dance.
Yes. Spontaneous dancing. Disco is probably one of his favorites and his specialty. That's our age group. But we tried to take ballroom dance lessons, and that didn't work really well, primarily because I couldn't let him lead.
So we were getting together one Saturday night, and I said, why don't we go to Casa Loma, ballroom? And Barry said, yeah, that's a great idea. So we went and we danced for hours and hours and just had a great time, and the man moves.
Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for all the memory.
Thank you, Barry.
For Barry, working in the Jewish community isn't a job. It's his passion, it's his commitment to the Jewish people.
Barry is the person that allowed me to see that there's a place for me within the Jewish Federation and the Jewish community.
I think one of the amazing things is his ability to focus and his ability to see exactly what needs to be done, to think it through, and then to be able to communicate that to people.
My feelings about Barry are strong. He cares.
I love Barry. We've worked together for 20 years. We've had a lot of fun doing it, a lot of good times, and I think that we've accomplished a great deal. And I'm proud of Barry, and I'm proud of having been one of the people that worked with him.
Barry, when you announced your retirement, I told you privately, but I want to tell you publicly as well, that you truly are one of the most excellent people that I know. And also, I will say publicly and irrevocably, yes, you are in the club, and truth be told, really in my heart, you have been for a long time.
Barry, thank you for all you've done for the Jewish Federation of St. Louis, for the broader Jewish community, and for all you continue to do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Kol hakavod, Barry.
Thank you, Barry. Shalom, Barry. Lehitraot. Thanks, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry. Thanks, Barry. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Thanks, Barry. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Barry. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dad, for everything.